We are crossing live to Absrod Oval, where the Scodfather will speak to the press.
I heard that he is in a grumpy mood.
Hello everybody, welcome to my channel and thank you for joining. Now in today's episode we're going to do part 2 of our press conference because we've been lazy, just calm it down. Anyway, we're going to do part 2 now, and as you can see it's 12:34 a.m. so I'm doing this late. It's past my bedtime now. But I had the afternoon nap, the grandpa nap. I had that already, so I feel fresh. Anyway, let's get on with the other 4 games that we haven't discussed yet. Let's talk about the Brisbane Lions and the Geelong game. And now, the score, 4 goals 13 to 9-9. Wet conditions, okay? It was a wet game. And Zorko, the Magnificent, scored a 130. Now, in the third quarter, I don't think he scored anything. I don't think he had a touch, or maybe one touch in the third quarter. So virtually that 130 came from 3 quarters of footy. That's a massive score. And we talked about Zorko last week. We're going to bring him in. But we had other things, other issues. We had to keep Crouch, so we couldn't do it. I would have gained possibly an extra 70 points, which would have made me 26 points outside the top 100. I can't calm it down. Anyway, we had to do the trades with the rookies. Had to get a cash out, so I'm happy we did that. So we can get Zorko this week. Now, and I'd say Zorko now is possibly. I mean, if he could hold injury wise, he's a top 2, top 3 forward. Could even finish top 1. We don't know. All right, so but he's in the top 3 anyway. Now, the next player we can talk about is Lachie Neale. Now, Lachie Neale scoring a 109. Actually, let's go back to Zorko. We have McKenna coming in this week. So McKenna's going to take Zorko's kick-ins. That's what would be the concern. However, Zorko only took 3 kick-ins this week and only played on from 2 of them. So really only earned 8 extra points. So really, score of 120. Okay, and in the third quarter, he didn't touch the ball. So he's good for a 110 plus, Zorko is. And for our forward lines, that's not bad. Now, Lachie Neale scored a 109. Conditions didn't really suit him. And it's after the bye rounds. And plus he got tagged. Okay, so after the bye rounds for Lachie Neale. Okay, well, it's something to consider. He's got the early bye round, so there's no point rushing to get him now. The player that Coleman, K. Loman, scored a 62, so it's a rookie score. I mean, if you pay 200k for him, it's expensive, okay? If you got him cheap at 150k, or even less, then it's not too bad. And that's pretty much it with the Lions. There's nobody else. I mean, there's Jared Lyons as a sub, scored 41, a 43% game time. It's not bad, but it's just dangerous having him. I know some people kept him because he had a low break even. I think it was minus 20 or minus 40, so it was very low. So he was going to make 20k just for appearing. Well, he appeared. He made his 30 odd k, and now he's gone. You have to get rid of him now. Okay, too dangerous. Now let's go to Geelong, and people are talking about Jack Bowles, and for good reason. He's been their highest CBA player. He's attended the most centre bounces. He's having a good year. He's still cheap. Actually, let's check out his price. Well, he's scored a 90, a 104, and a 124. Okay, so if he scores another 100 this week, which he probably will, going off what he scored the last 3 weeks, he's going to make you 50k or 45k. All right, that's not bad. Okay, but the following week, if he scores, let's say another 100. All right, let's add another 15k. Then he's going to make 30k. So then he's made you 80k. Then his sort of cash dries up. Then you sort of only made 80 or 90k from him. it's okay, but it's better than nothing, I understand. But I'd rather pick up at 450k next week Clayton Oliver, okay? I'd rather wait a week and get Clayton Oliver, who could be a keeper, than Jack Bowers, which you have to trade out again. So he's going to be in and out just for 80k. It's not really worth it. So I think Oliver is a better option. Now we go to go down the order here. Who we're looking for? Max Holmes scored a 98. He's just not. He's in your midfield. He's not a top 6 defender. He's not a top 8 forward. I don't know what to say about him. If you can upgrade him soon, which you will be, you've probably got bigger problems. So you can probably hold him. He's still scoring you those 90s, the low hundreds, but he's just not it. Okay, especially as a target, you can forget it. Okay, but as a player you've already got, he's just not doing it. Now, going further down, we had an incident. Actually, Toby Conway scored a 64. That's probably, I think that's his second game back. Didn't show as much promise as his first game. Dangerfield only a 62. Actually, how cheap is Dangerfield now? Let's have a look at Dangerfield's price. Actually, he's quite expensive. I thought he would be a lot cheaper. 485. Okay, forget it. Forget I mentioned Dangerfield. Just come it down. Okay, let's get on to the next one. And we're going to talk about, actually, let's bring him up. We're going to talk about Stewart. Tom Stewart got injured or concussion. Is out this week. Has a break even of 137. Who's he going to play to get that 137? He's going to play Melbourne because he's going to miss the Carlton game. So he's going to play Melbourne, and most likely he'll get it. Okay, well, his highest score is 120 against Melbourne, so maybe he won't get it. So maybe let's just say he gets his highest score, 120. He's going to drop. He's going to drop a bit. He's going to drop about 28, about 30k. Then he's going to drop again. Let's just say he scores a 101 and a 95, 2 weeks back to back. He's going to become 500k in 2 weeks' time. You can pick him up for the Gold Coast game because he's going to drop in the Melbourne and Port Adelaide game. So you can pick up in the Gold Coast game at 500k. That is an absolute bargain. The only problem with him is that round 14 bye again. Now, if you've got him, you have to hold him. You've already lost 100k on him. Okay, you can't get rid of him now. Just ride the wave now. People like myself that are bargain hunting for the bins are going to grab him. But what can we do? Now, Oliver Dempsey, conditions didn't suit. Okay, he scored a 50-odd. Last week, conditions did suit, and he scored a 50-odd. It could be almost time to let him go as soon. If it's not this week, it has to be next week. Okay, I'm not sure what his break even is, but it's nearly the time for Oliver Dempsey because remember one thing. Okay, there are cash cows like rookies that you can grab. There aren't many left. So when you got a player that's got 300k of cash in them, you want to cash out. Okay, because if you got no rookies to downgrade them to, what happens is their price starts dropping, okay, and there's nowhere, you get stuck with them, okay, so cash out as soon as you can. That's why I used up all my boosts, cashing out all the cash cows. Anyway, so Dempsey, cash out soon. Well, next week we have one player on the bubble, Garcia, so maybe use him. Which we'll talk about. We already spoke about Garcia from the Dogs, and hopefully he gets a game. And Jai Clark, I'm stuck with him. I can't cash him out. That's a problem. So that's what I mean about cashing out. And he's one that I'm stuck with. And I'm probably going to keep him now for the rest of the year. He's going to be our sub, coming in and scoring 11 points for us every odd week that we need him. He'll give us the 11, okay, that we need. Now we go to this West Coast and Fremantle game. Now, if ever there was torture, okay, if ever you wanted to torture someone, well, a non-owner of Harley Reid is a perfect example of torture. Okay, it was terrible. Okay, now, up until this game, I was loving my week. Okay, then out of nowhere, this young man scores a 147 and destroys my whole weekend because he allows 80% of Supercoach players to have a 147. The pain was so much. Anyway, We don't have him. If you've got him, you probably weren't even expecting this. Okay, I don't think anyone was, especially against Freo. Yeah, I mean, you think Freo, they got Fife in there, they got Young in there, they got Caleb Sorong in there. Surely Harley Reid's not going to go nuts. He went nuts. Now he only had 19 touches. It's not like he went 40 touches. He doesn't need many touches. He plays very similar to the Horny Man, whereas the Horny Man doesn't get many touches, but when he does get it, he scores a lot of points from it, and that's what Harley Reid did. So watching him now for the rest of the year is just going to be painful. So this week he has a tough matchup against Gold Coast, against the Weapon. I'll see what the Weapon can do. Okay, but yeah, good luck for the non-owners like me. Now, Elliot Yeo, actually, going back to Harley Reid, some people are asking, should they get him in now? It's bolted. The horse is gone. It's gone. The horse is bolted, so don't worry about Harley Reid. Now, Elliot Yeo, what a season he's having. 112. Another big game. When he hits 650k, I'm going to trade him out. Can you believe I'm going to trade him out when he's in tip-top condition of form? Because this year, it's hard to make cash. It's nearly impossible, especially after this week. There's no more cows left. So we've got to find cash from somewhere. So I'm probably going to trade out Elliot Yeo once he reaches 650k and try to find a primo that can score similar to him at 550k. So I'm going to make 100k and just take the cash. And that's pretty much what I'm going to do. Okay, there are no other choices for me this year. I'm going to play a little bit different. Now, Jeremy McGovern, the governor, he scored 100, 17 kicks, free handballs. He took out nearly all the kick-ins until the last quarter. Mind you, there weren't many kick-ins, okay, but he took them all. Except the last quarter, he gave some away, okay, he got tired of them. It was a good game. Believe it or not, the ball, when it went there, there was, where is he? Trying to find him, Barras. He was taking all the marks, okay? So Barras was taking screamers over McGovern, so McGovern didn't get a chance. It was Barras doing all the intercept work, but McGovern's still taking kicks all over the place. It's a good get for me. I'm very happy with McGovern. And that's pretty much it for the Eagles. They've won 2 in a row now. Note that Harley Reid, in those 2 games, scored really well. It's high-impact scoring. Now, if West Coast keep winning, Harley Reid keeps scoring, okay? Now, because he's only getting 19 touches, so when West Coast start losing, 19 touches, maybe 15 touches, bit of forward roll, so he may go back down to his 70s and 80s again, which I'm hoping for. Anyway, going to the Dockers, Sorong, 117. That's a good game for Sorong. Pretty much normal for him. Jordan Clark having a good year, 115. Last week he was down, but this week back up again. Sean Darcy, 76% time on ground. Now, they said he's going to have less limited time on ground, and that's not limited. That's 76%. That's a lot of time on ground. So, 30 hitouts to him, 17 to Luke Jackson. Mind you, Williams had 18. So actually, 30 is not much if you consider that Williams had 18. Williams has actually held a lot of the ruckmen to low scores this year. It's been very surprising. Speaking of Jackson, 12 touches, he got 2 goals. He needs to kick 2 goals every week to get that 90. That's going to be hard. That's 50 goals a year. Okay, so it's not easy to kick 50 goals a year. He's going to be more of a 70s man from the looks of it, okay? If you've got him, you've got to hold now. If you want to bring him in, just wait. There's going to be times, there could be a time when he's going to drop down to about 450, and that's when you get him. Because he can still finish up as your F6, so you might as well hold him. The good time to get rid of him was when he was 600k. That's why I'm thinking of getting rid of Elliot Yeo when he's 650k, because they can always drop back down again. I'm trying to do the stock market now, sell high and buy low. That's the different game style now. Nat 5, very consistent. 90 last week. He's more of a 90s man from the looks of it, and that's a good score for a forward. He's doing his job. Luke Ryan, disappointing game this week. Only 16 touches, very, very low. But then again, I wasn't expecting a high game from Luke Ryan because I thought that they were going to smash the Eagles and the Eagles won't be entering the forward line. But the opposite happened. The Eagles won, and he still went low. Anyway, so 89 is not much, but he's a Jets. And that's his floor. 89 is his floor. So imagine, you've seen his ceiling, 160. So he's going to be... defenders are usually up and down. And pretty much, you got Hayden Young, who came off in the last quarter, 79. I wouldn't be disappointed with that score, considering he came off. So looking at another 100 again, but it sort of stunted his cash. Now is going to go back down again. So people that don't have him can now pick him up cheap again. So it's a weird thing. And Jeremy Sharp, 67, he's turning out to be a good rookie. Unfortunately, I missed out on him, but he's coming towards the end of his cash making soon. He's going to be another player that you want to cash out. We now go over to the Sydney and the Gold Coast game. And now, I remember telling a lot of people last week that I would hold Grundy. Not because he's going to score 158. I wasn't expecting this, okay, especially against Wits, okay, but pretty much to keep your primo count up, okay, so there was no point trading him out because you get to keep your primos, unless you thought, because English was going to drop in price, all right, but the problem was Marshall was going to go up in price, so some people jumped on Marshall, hoping that Marshall is going to be the R2, knowing that English is going to drop. So that was a choice. Okay, it looked like an obvious choice, but unfortunately it didn't work out. And we saw what happened to Marshall, and Grundy went 158. So if you got Grundy and you held him, and you've done well. Okay, not many did hold him, but then again, I think it was 50% that did hold him. So there was quite a few. Now, Matt Roberts, 117. I wasn't expecting this either, okay? He's virtually, if you can recall Lloyd from years ago, when Lloyd was a gun, that's Matt Roberts now. Probably not as good as Lloyd in regards to getting all the touches, because, like, for example, Roberts only 23 touches. Lloyd used to get like 30, 35 touches. But Roberts takes those grabs, those intercept marks, and takes a lot of the kickings. We're going to have to hold him a bit longer now. The way if he can score 117s every week, he's a keeper. Okay, but we're not keeping him as a keeper. But if he keeps going like this, he could become one because he's growing confidence. Now, Isaac Heaney scored 98, but 113 fantasy points, 28 touches. It wasn't a bad game. Problem for Heaney is he went at 53%. That was his lowest he's ever gone at all year. He's usually very high disposal efficiency. 7 clangers in there. So a lot of upside there for Heaney. So he's still that 120s man. Just 53% sort of hurt a lot. Goulden isn't having a massive year. 30 touches, only 98, so he's not having one of those big years. Taylor Adams was interesting. 58 or 55 or some huge score at a quarter time. I even put it on Twitter, check this guy out, okay? But then he stopped. 40 points for virtually 3 quarters. And 67% time on ground. So there's no rush to get him. All right? I'd probably wait another week at least and get more data, get more information on how he's going to go. Now, going further down, I don't think there's anyone else at Sydney of any interest. Now, we go over to Gold Coast, and my boy here at the top, the weapon, Matt Rowell. Now, 8 kicks, 12, is a low position player, 20 touches. It's not much, okay? Now, those 12 handballs are probably worth 5 points each time he gets a handball. He doesn't get handball receives and just pass it. No, easy ball. Everything is tough. 15 contested possessions, 9 clearances, 12 tackles. Absolute Supercoach jet, okay, is Matt Rowell. That's why I picked him as the weapon. I saw it in the practice game, and I said he's the weapon, and he was. and he is. Now, Flanders had a weird game, okay? Gave away a 50-metre penalty. Could have been a 120. Gave away 2 or 3 goals. Could have been a 130. Could have even been a 140 game, this one. 29 kicks, 5 handballs at 76%, but 7 clangers. Those clangers are worth 4 points each. That's 28 points in clangers. If you didn't have the clangers, and everyone has clangers, all right? So the average is around about 2 or 3. So take 4 clangers out of there, all right? That's 16 points. That's a 126. Take away the 50-metre penalty, and that's a 135. So it was a good game from Flanders. The coach was shaking his head. He wasn't happy. I'm actually worried for Flanders in that back role, okay, in that defensive role, because he gave up 2 or 3 goals. They may give it back. If I was the coach, I wouldn't give it to Flanders for starters. I'd put Flanders back in the middle, okay, and give that role back to Powell. Okay, Powell does it better. Powell's a good kick. What's his efficiency? He's going to prove me wrong now. Where is he? Powell, 76%. Well, he's a better kick, okay, even though it says Flanders 76%. Also, a lot of his kicks was like little chip kicks, so that they were basic baby kicks. Now, Mac Andrew, we talked about last week. It was a gamble to jump on him after 2 100s. If you gambled and took the gamble and you gambled responsibly, he scored you another 100, just coming down. So he made 60k. Now it's too late. That horse is gone. It's bolted. But good on you if you got onto him. Lukosius, last week was terrible. This week he was good. You'd want to see him again, okay? That last week's score is in that system still, so he could probably still drop cheaper. Took Miller was disappointing, 88. I didn't even kick the goal and got 88. Without that goal, he's probably around about an 80 or a 79. Very disappointing. I know a lot of friends have him and very disappointed. He'll bounce back. It was a small ground. It didn't suit him. He likes the bigger grounds. More space for him. Clossy, Jet, 75 on this ground, which it's a huge. The wingmen don't usually score much at the SCG, so he did well. Going down, Will Graham, 61. It's not bad. He's made some cash now. He's making some cash, but going further down, Noah Anderson, 50, 55%. 7 kicks, 11 handballs. Says he was tagged by Jordan. I didn't see this tag, okay? The player that I saw that was tagged was Rao. It wasn't Anderson. So maybe he was tagged for one minute and that was it. But that's disappointing, okay? Again, it's a small ground. Maybe he prefers the bigger grounds, more space to run into. But that was poor effort from Anderson. His price is going to get smashed, okay? So if you want to pick up Anderson cheap, you got to wait till the big pay rise, the big score from last week drops out. Then that score, his price is going to plummet. I don't know if I'll be interested anyway. He's not the type of player that I like. Now going to the last game of the round, North Melbourne and Hawthorn. And this game was a saviour for me because there was a cherry. There's a cherry there. The cherry on top of sherry. And 144. I mean, I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting this either. It was a huge score. It saved my weekend. So very happy with Sherry. Now, Cheezels is going to have a role change from the looks of it. He's going to play midfield and possibly forward. Now, that scares me, okay? Cheezels gets 20 points a week on average from kick-ins. So he's going about 120, 130 some weeks. 110 he was tagged this week. When you're going at 130, take away 20 points, okay? Then you're going at 110. If you're going to go at 110, your price is going to get smashed down to about 550k. If he goes at 110 and goes at 550k, he's going to lose 100k. Now, next week I'm going to watch him close. Well, this week. And if he scores anything like a 110 or under, I'm getting rid of him, okay? But I'll bring him back after his bye. Because, as I said before, I'm trying to find ways to make cash now. And if I get rid of Sheezels at 650k and bring him back at 550k, that's 100k that I've saved or made, all right? Then if I bring in Petrarca at 550k, when he was 670k or 660k, I saved 100k on Petrarca. So that's a 200k saving with that one trade. And then I'll do the same with a lot of the players, because this could be the way to play if you've got no rookies coming through. You've got to find the cash somewhere, so that's going to be my cash cows now. The primos are my cash cows. I'm going to play the primo cash market now. So that's my plan. Now, LDU 101, he's just not doing it. He played against Hawthorn. Now, Jai Newcomb hasn't been scoring. He's the easiest midfielder to score against. You saw Gold Coast midfielders last week. They all went nuts against Hawthorn. Not North Melbourne ones. They didn't score. 101 for LDU. Tom Powell, 73. Tom Powell's really worrying me now. I don't even know if he's a top 4 or top 6. I don't know if it's a top 10. I know he's averaged well, but he's just not doing it now. He went at 80% as well. 20 touches. The contested stuff's not there. 7 contested possessions. He's not getting that hard ball. LDU, 11. It's not enough, okay? And mind you, it wasn't much by the Hawks either. I mean, Newcomb had 14, and that's very high for him. 6 tackles. He went nuts. Anyway, going further down at North Melbourne, this was disappointing, okay? Actually, let's talk about Comben. 55. You would have got him in thinking that he's going to hold that F6 for a while. I mean, you paid 227k for him, all right? 55. He played forward for half a game, had 1 touch. It's the worst thing possible. Now, you don't want to see him play forward next week, because then it's game over. As a defender, at least you know he can score your 80s, okay? But as a forward, he's not going to score much, okay? Especially at North Melbourne. And the Fish, if you've still got the Fish, okay, it's good at 71, so the Fish isn't doing it. Going further down, Biggie, I don't even know how he's played, how they can pick him again. It was probably one of the worst displays of a defender I've ever seen. He was never in the right spot. He didn't go in hard for the ball. He didn't even jump sometimes. He let the others jump. Okay, he just watched them. He thought he was a rover. He's there to jump, not to rove. It just wasn't. It wasn't a defender. He just looks terrible. Okay, he won't get a game for the rest of his career. If he plays like that, that was one of the worst games I've ever seen from a defender. If he plays this week, I'll be shocked. I'll actually fall off my chair if I see him play, and I picked him in my team. So he's going to be one of those players that I'm just going to loop every week now, and I do need a loop, so he's going to be that loop player that I need. If for some lucky chance that he actually plays, I'll just cash out on him. He's got two cashes to make. I'll just take the cash. And Drury, he's on a bubble this week. If you bring him in, you're pretty much just cashing out on a player and just hoping that Drury's going to play well. He's not going to play that well, okay? He played well last week, kicked 1 goal this week. I had him last year. I don't know. He had a good role. I think it was a forward pocket this time, not a half forward like last week. Zerha's come in. Drury's role is gone to Zerha now. I'm not sure. And then you got Tyler Sellers, scored a 6. He didn't even score much last week. He's priced at 102k. He's going to be cheaper than 102k soon. He scored -2 Dream Team points. Now work that one out. Had 2 touches, had 1 touch last week. He's had 3 touches in 2 full games of football. 3 touches. Anyway, I think the umpires touched the ball more than him. Even the crowd, some of the crowd members behind the goal square, they have more touches than what Sellers has. Now, let's go to the Hawks, and there aren't many players at the Hawks that we would own, okay? Newcomb owners got rewarded with a 129, they'll be very happy, okay? They'll probably wait till he jumps up in price and just sell him. Then we have, going further down, we have Impey, not Impey, where is he? He's not even here. Amon, what did Amon score? 74, he didn't do well. We had Ambrosio, he got subbed out at 60. Mind you, he wasn't really doing that. He had 9 touches till he got subbed out. It was halfway through the third quarter. It was a shock, okay? In the third quarter, he didn't touch the ball, okay? And he got subbed out. Probably a trade out. Only 33 Dream Team points, as you can see. That's pretty much it. There's nobody else at Hawthorn that we can talk about. Actually, there's Lloyd Meek. Okay, now Lloyd Meek scored 97, and you may say, wow, this is fantastic, okay? We got him cheap. He scored 97, that's not bad. Could be R2, but Lloyd Meek kicked the 2 goals. One goal he kicked, I think it went for about 80 or 90 metres. It was incredible, okay? No, he just kicked it. He didn't even look. He just kicked it forward, and it became a goal, okay? No one touched it, because in defence, North Melbourne's got this guy called Biggie. He was lost, okay, so no one touched that ball, and he went for a goal. He got lucky with the 97. Mind you, second goal was not too bad, but anyway, if you got Meek, 97 is good for you. Hopefully he can continue the 97s. I think he's more of an 80s man, Lloyd Meek. And that's it for these games. Now, we have a Wednesday game this week, so because we have that Wednesday game, I'm going to be doing my team updates tomorrow, or when you watch this will be today. So I'm going to bring out another video very soon. So that'll have all my changes, all my ins and outs, all 2 of them, because I don't have a boost anymore. So I have my 2 changes this week. And we're going to do Captain's Corner most likely tonight, because you're watching this on Tuesday. So it'll be in tonight. And I've got pretty much most of them in. And I can give you a hint, Gorn is VC on most of them. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for joining. And remember one thing. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.
That's all, folks.